The North American Champions Cup starts now, which means within the next few episodes, we could have part 4 of this accidental Pentagon challenge completed, or we have to go again next season. But one way or another, we're about to find out. Welcome to the video, everybody, and let's get into it. The last time you was with me was for the games against FC Juarez, who we beat 3-0. They are a rubbish team, so that puts that into some sort of context. And we then got smashed 3-0 by Santos Laguna, which didn't feel particularly good. After that, we then played Puebla, who are in the bottom half of the table. We beat them 4-1 with goals from Layet, Roas, Acampo and Clavery. It was a good performance. They're not a particularly great team, but it was a very good performance. We then played Monterrey, who beat us, I think it was in the playoff thing earlier on in the season. Where are we? Yeah, they beat us down here 3-0 in the away leg and then a 0-0 draw in the home leg. Knocked us out of the semi-finals. Playing them here at home, it was a 3-0 win, and it was probably our best performance of the entire season. It was really, really good. Layet got a couple of goals. Brian Felix with a bullet header from a corner. It was a really, really good performance. And watching that, I'm thinking to myself, we're back. We're back to what I perceive to be our best. And then we went and lost 2-1 to Chivas. And we went 1-0 up. Brian Felix with another goal from a corner. But then Nilo pulled it back to 1-1, and then Alonso in the second half made it 2-1. We also got an injury to Clavery. To be fair, it weren't that we was bad in this game. It was just a good game. Chivas played really well. We didn't play too badly. We just couldn't get the job done. Then we moved on to the first leg of the North American Champions Cup second round. The second round is the only round that I'm aware of. It's where we go into it anyway. A 2-0 win away from home against them. They're a Dominican Republic team. They're an average side from what I can gather. We won 2-0. We did get Felix sent off, as well as goals from Gallegos and Solbes. So Felix will miss the second leg that's coming up in today's episode. And talking of today's episode, we've got Queretaro in the league, and then Cibao FC in that second leg. If we have a look at the league, we currently sit in third position. 10 games played. We've got 7 games remaining. The objective is to finish in the top 6. Santos Laguna, to be fair, who are 6th, they're only 2 points behind us. And Pumas, who are 7th, are only 3 points behind. So the fact that we're third, it's not like it's all wrapped up and a nice little ribbon tied on top of it or anything like that. We've still got work to do. And when we look at the schedule, we do have the likes of Cruz Azul to come, who are second in the league, and Tigre, who are currently top. So we've got some very tough fixtures coming up. Whether or not I show these depends on our progression in the Champions Cup. But let's get into the first game of today's episode against Queretaro, who currently sit in 12th in the league. And here is the team for the game against Queretaro. Fabinho in goal, Gallegos left back, Flores right back, Felix and Raul in the centre of defence, Contreras, Mendoza and Acampo in midfield, with Delator and Roas out wide, Layet up top. In terms of team news, Vincent Rodriguez is suspended. I think this is his last game. And Clavery is out with an injury. He's got a groin strain. He's going to be out for a few more weeks. Hence Mendoza being in the midfield, Gallegos being on the left and Flores being on the right. Let's get into the game, and hopefully this should just be a routine win. How are Queretaro doing? They've had 1 loss, 2 draws and 2 wins. They're on decent form. We are described as inconsistent, which probably is a perfect way to describe us. We are very inconsistent, and it's not something I care for a great deal, I have to admit. We are in the league, so we can have the table. I don't think that's gone through. I'll have to do it again in a minute. But here we go. First highlight of the game in the 7th minute. Starts with Queretaro. Raul chases the ball down and retrieves it. You can give it to Contreras, who's our anchor in the midfield, of course. Mendoza striving forward, gives it to Roas, who then lost it. But Gallegos wins it back and gives it to Delator. He's found Let, who's through on goal, and it's a good save from the goalkeeper, but it has gone out for a corner. We are the home team. I mean, look at how empty this stadium is. We don't feel this stadium particularly well. Oh, there was a header there from a corner, and their keeper saved it pretty comfortably, really. And yeah, we just want to win here. We need to win. Like I say, we need to keep picking up the points to secure that top 6 place. Layette has just picked the ball up off the toes of the midfielder there, gives it to Mendoza, and that was a shot that has gone wide. It may have been offside or an offside in there somewhere, but either way it's gone out for a goal kick, so it doesn't really matter. We have been the better team slightly, but that doesn't really matter until we actually manage to pick up the 3 points and pick up a goal or 2 or 3, something like that would be nice. I always get nervous if we go in at half-time 0-0 because you never know exactly how this is all going to pan itself out. It's 0-0 at half-time though, so let's do our little team talk and hopefully we can put this team to bed because that's been a fairly quiet first half in terms of highlights. Queretaro are through and they could have scored. I mean, it was a difficult chance to take on the volley like that, but you kind of think with a bit of composure, he could have actually scored that goal. But Queretaro seemed to have started this second half, the better team. The ball's into the box again. We've given away a penalty. We've given away a penalty against a team that's in the bottom half of the table. Oh, this isn't good. Right. We need Fabinho to pull off an unlikely heroic, and he doesn't. It's 1-0 to Queretaro, 54th minute of the game. They've scored from the penalty spot. Oh, I did say our inconsistent form, or that we are inconsistent, right? I don't know what to do with this team. I really don't. They're usually pretty decent, but like I said, we'll like the game with Monterrey. Best performance of the season. We were absolutely incredible in that game. And then we just went and lost the next game against Chivas. And I don't know. I'm running out of ideas with them. I really am. Here's Gallegos now to De La Torre. Mendoza with the ball by the box. Puts it across. No one got on the end of it. I mean, there's no point putting crosses in if no one's going to get on the end of them. Here's De La Torre. Finds Layette. And Layette has got a referee's got his finger up. Oh, my God. So it's going to remain 1-0 because it's going to be disallowed. Oh, it's been given. Oh, it is an equaliser. Wow, fancy that. The referee's actually on their side for once. Flores with the ball. Gives it to Mendoza to De La Torre. De La Torre with a beautiful ball to Layette. And a lovely, lovely finish from him. It's 1-1. We're back in the game. Can we now take control of the game and get another goal to get the win that we need? Because when you've got the likes of Tigre and Cruz Azul to come, you don't want to be relying on games against them to get, oh, that's a terrible back pass. And Layette has finished it. His 26th goal of the season. Layette finished it with aplomb to give us a 2-1 lead. And that is that was actually a really well taken finish because the goalkeeper was chasing him down. He was under pressure, but he managed to put the ball away. And we have managed to turn this game around. Right, Rojas can come off, and I think we'll bring Albuquerque on for him. I think Flores can come off and Ortega can come on for him as well. He's on a yellow card. So rather than risk him getting sent off, it's probably better we just remove him altogether. And Ortega is one of their youngsters that I said at the beginning of the season I want to give some game time to him, get some minutes in his legs and all that. And I've not really done it. I've basically just ignored him. Right. Who else are we going to bring on? So Mendoza can probably come off for Enzo Fernandez. And maybe Brian Felix can come off for Renan. That may well be the final change I make. I know we do have the 5 changes. I do like making my 5 changes. Gallegos just gives the ball away again. I mean, I don't know how they give the ball away like that. It's got to be how poor the match engine is that it looks so stupid because it just don't seem realistic. But here's Albuquerque now. He's in the box. Albuquerque, he could have put the game to bed. He's gone out for a corner. Probably be De La Torre that will take the corner from this left-hand side. It'll be an outswinger. And indeed it is. We have now made the substitutions by the looks of it. Fiddling about with his shorts, clapping his hands together. He's wasting plenty of time. That's what I like to see. So De La Torre with the corner, outswinger, probably to the near post. I mean, when he feels like it, I mean, come on. It was towards the near post, but the highlight just ended, so obviously wasn't a particularly good corner. Right, time is ticking down. Here comes Queretaro again. Raul kind of won the ball back, but then lost it again. Ortega steals it off the defender's feet. Gallegos just heads it straight to Queretaro. They're through and it's a goal. The referee's got his hand in the air. Is he going to do us another favour by disallowing it? I mean, we really need him to. It has been disallowed, thank heavens. The referee is actually on our side in this game. I think we need to get this guy's name and chuck him a few quid in his pocket or whatever the Mexican currency is. And that is the final whistle. We've got a 2-1 win, but my word, we were not particularly good in this game. That was a poor performance in all. But I suppose one way of looking at it is we showed fight. We went 1-0 down, come back, 2 goals from Liet, one of them being an incredible error. We are currently top of the table as well on 23 points. Right, let's get to part 2 and the game against Cibao in the North American Champions Cup, second round, second leg. And this is the team to play against Cibao. We are at home. We have got a 2-0 lead from the first leg. This should be straightforward and a comfortable victory. We've got Vincent Rodriguez back from suspension. He is available to us now, but Brian Felix is suspended, so he misses out. And Clavery is obviously still injured. We've also got an injury to our backup goalkeeper, so our third choice, Josu Hernandez Pat, is on the bench. Gerson Lopez got a little injury as well, but he's able to be on the bench for us. We won't use him unless we absolutely have to, and I can't see us being in that situation. But here's the team that goes out for today's game. Fabinho in goal, Gallegos left back, Flores right back, Renan and Raul in the centre of defence. Renan obviously in for Felix. Contreras, Mendoza and Ocampo in the midfield. Delator and Rojas out wide with Liet up top. Let's go. Let's get this game done and let's hopefully pick up not 3 points, but the win against, like I say, a very average team from the Dominican Republic. You would probably imagine that in this competition, the Mexican teams are likely to be our biggest threat in terms of winning it. So all the while we can progress through the tournament and not play a Mexican team will be wonderful. The thing is, this is such a short tournament. You enter in the second round, which is basically the last 16. Layet with the goal, 27th of the season, Ocampo with the assist. Yeah, you start in the second round, which is effectively the last 16. So the round after this will be the quarterfinals. That will be tomorrow's video if we do progress, as I think we will. Then after that is a semi-final and final. So you only actually play 4 teams. 8 matches, obviously, because they're all 2-legged ties. Even the final, I believe, is a 2-legged tie. And what we'll do in tomorrow's video, if we are indeed in the quarterfinals, is we will play both legs of the quarterfinal. And that's a goal from Delator. I don't think there's nobody on the assist for that, but Delator puts it away for 2-0 on the night. Yeah, and what I'll do is the league game that we play in between times, I'll just play that off camera, and so you get to see both legs of the North American Champions Cup. If we then get to the semi-final, then Friday's video will be exactly the same. It will just be the 2 legs of the NACC. And obviously, the only way that may change is if there's a really crucial league game. But ultimately, as long as we finish in the top 6, well, there's an accidental goal from Liet. We'll watch this on the replay because this looked like it come off the defender. Looks like the defender kicked it into Layet and it went in from him. Here's Flores on the right-hand side, gives it to Rojas, puts the ball into the box. Yeah, it was an accidental goal, but they all count. 3-0, I'm not going to complain. It's nice to see us scoring goals and not conceding as well. Right, I mean, this could be a match where we have a lot of highlights and they're probably not necessary because we are most likely going to win this. But yeah, like I say, if we have a league game that is crucial, then I'll have to show you that somehow. I'll work that out at the time. But ultimately, as long as we finish in the top 6, then we know we're into that quarterfinal playoff thing. And that's where we'll obviously show more of the league action. But yeah, from this point onwards, it is all about the North American Champions Cup. If this is going to result in a goal, can they just hurry up and score it? There you go. Layet with the goal. He's now on 29 for the season. He's filling his boots in this game against Cibao FC. And that's 4-0 on the night. It's 6-0 on aggregate. We don't need to see the highlights of every single goal. And yeah, I mean, you've got Chivas are in this, Monterrey, Toluca. There is obviously the likes of Toronto, Inter Miami that are here as well. It'll be interesting to see who we get in the next round. I just hope it's not a Mexican team, because when you play these continental competitions, you don't really want to play teams that are in the same league as you or the same country as you, because the whole point of playing it is you play teams from around that continent, you know. And I always feel the same when I'm in the Champions League, like in the European Champions League. If I'm managing, say, Arsenal, Laya now with his 30th goal of the season, it's 5-0 in the 40th minute. Yeah, if I'm managing, say, Arsenal, I don't want to get drawn against Liverpool or Manchester City or Chelsea, because I played them in the league twice a season. I don't need to be playing them in this competition. So, yeah, rant over. Just thought I'd let you know how I feel about that. Right, here we go then. We've got another highlight before the end of the night. These highlights are getting a bit much now. It's dragging this game out. We're not even half time yet. I think we've had half a dozen highlights, if not more. We're just toying with them. We're so much better than them. It makes you wonder how we didn't win the first leg by more, really. And Layet with another one. The referee's got his hand up. He probably is going to disallow this, because the game has to find a way of controlling how many goals you score. So that will... No, it's been given. It's 6-0 and it's not even half time. I think I just need to tell the lads to take their foot. I mean, Layet has got 5 goals in this game. If he didn't already have a very decent scoring record before today, this would absolutely bump that up some, wouldn't it? You're probably looking at someone like Solbas and Ivan Gomez are probably wishing that they could have got the opportunity to come on or start the game for us and actually fill their boots as well. But here we go, another highlight. Probably going to result in another goal. Roas on the right-hand side, past his man, gets the ball across the box. Ocampo gives it back to Roas. Roas to Ocampo, and it's a save from the keeper by the looks of it. It's going to go out for a corner kick. And it's going to be Flores to take it from the left-hand side. In-swinger towards the near post. Pinging about. Flores picks up the loose ball, gives it to Mendoza. De La Torre goes back to Contreras, and the highlight mercifully comes to a conclusion. Right, let's make some substitutions. I think Layet has done his damage. He can come off, and Ivan Gomez can come on for him. Solbas and Albuquerque can all come on as well. We'll leave it at that for substitutions for now. And the highlights continue. Here's Contreras to Ocampo. Finds Albuquerque. Gomez, couldn't quite put it into the path of Ivan Gomez. I mean, I'm very tempted to change this to highlights being goals only. I mean, what use was that as a goal kick? What use is this highlight? You could just start the highlight from here, really, couldn't you? Rather than what we've seen so far. Here's Gomez, gives it to Solbas. Solbas cuts inside, finds Albuquerque out on the right. He gets the ball into the box, and Ocampo, I think it was, hits the post. And that's the end of yet another highlight. I've lost count of how many highlights. We've had 23 shots at goal, 24 now, 9 on target. I mean, this is just such a one-sided affair. It's 8-0 on aggregate. Here's Solbas on the left, gives it to Gallegos. He couldn't find him on with his pass, but it just comes straight back at me. It's just constant pressure. It's constant pressure from us. I don't see the point in this highlight. It's too long. Do you know what? I think I'm going to mercifully just cut it off at this point, and we'll just come back to it at the end of the game, because it doesn't feel like there's any point showing anymore. We'll see this highlight. Gallegos with the ball. There you go. It's 7-0. I'll see you at full time. And here we are. There's 2 more goals. One for us, one for them. It finished 8-1 on the night. 10-1 on aggregate. Almonte scoring for them in the 83rd minute. Solbas scoring for us in the 85th minute. Some of the stats are 12 shots on target, 29 shots in general, an XG of 5.33 to their 0.28. Their average rating was 6.25 compared to our 7.60. Nearly 70% possession. That was literal men against boys. Right, there you go. That's full time. We do a little team talk. That's how you do a 2-legged tie. Lovely, lovely stuff. We'll have a look at the schedule. And does it tell us here who we play? It tells us we're into the second round. Let's have a look at this. Oh, come on. Let's have a look at this schedule. So The quarterfinal is against Chivas, who we've recently lost against. So we've only got one more game to play off camera, which is against Tijuana. Then we'll play Chivas in the... Oh, actually, there's a bit of a gap between it. We play Cruz Azul and Tigre. So what we might do is Chivas and Cruz Azul tomorrow. And then on Friday, do Tigre versus Chivas, so that you get the two important league games as well. Yeah, I think that'll be tomorrow's one. Right, thank you very much for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry that went on for so long. That was horrendous. It did go on forever, that game. But join me tomorrow for two massive, massive games in the context of our season. I'll see you there for that one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.